The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt was released on May 19, 2015 by CD Projekt Red. The final installment of this trilogy is a true masterpiece. The story revolves around the Witcher Geralt of Rivia. Witchers hunt monsters for coin, but this hero, Geralt, also becomes involved in other affairs. Geralt's main goal in The Witcher 3 is to find Ciri, who is the only person he considers his kin. There are a wide variety of things that players can do throughout the world, from following the main story, pursuing side quests, hunting monsters, and maybe even some Gwent.
Ever play Gwent?
The decisions Geralt makes throughout the story will have drastic implications in the outcome of the story, including the fate of those Geralt cares for. One wrong decision could lead to the death of a character. A lot of the decisions Geralt makes do not have a clear right or wrong answer, but if the player isn't careful, they may be surprised with the outcome.
Got no time to negotiate with trolls. Step aside, Tomer.
The gameplay mechanics can be intimidating when just starting out, but with time, players will be able to master all of Geralt's abilities. To start, Geralt has two swords, one silver, which he uses to slay monsters, and one steel, which he uses when fighting humans. In close combat, the player can parry, dodge, or roll, depending on the situation. On top of his swords, Geralt also has the ability to use signs, which are adaptations of magic spells. Geralt can use signs to shield himself, attack, or stun enemies. In order to succeed in The Witcher 3, especially on harder difficulties, players must learn to utilize a balance of all of Geralt's abilities. Combat mechanics take some time getting used to, but with time become much more comfortable. There are some other mechanics in the game that can be frustrating at times. Roach, Geralt's horse, is probably one of the biggest sore spots in the game. The player has the option to call for the horse to spawn in at any location, anytime. However, in order to maintain immersion, the player is never able to actually watch Roach spawn into the world. In theory, this is a great idea, and I wouldn't change it, but it does lead to problems. Oftentimes, Roach will spawn on the other side of a building or on the top of a mountain, and reaching Roach becomes more trouble than it's even worth. Even if Geralt is able to mount Roach, there are some other issues. If Roach is operating in a tight space or at a high speed, she will often come to a complete stop and disrupt any rhythm the player has going if any kind of small object gets in Roach's path. This problem is hard to fix because the world should not be altered to account for Roach. Instead, the game devs should use the autopilot feature that's already part of the game in order to keep Roach off of any path that would cause the horse to stop on a dime. Aside from the mechanics, the aesthetics of this game are sensational. The beautiful graphics ensure that the audience will remain immersed in the world. The only complaint I have about the graphics is that I don't get to appreciate them enough. I spend a lot of time looking at the map rather than taking in the world around Geralt. Sometimes I will be exploring the world and the sun will peek over the horizon to say, "Hey, I'm here," and take me by surprise. Aside from the world, the aesthetics of Geralt himself are one of my favorite things in this game. At any time, the player can choose to shave Geralt's beard, but as time progresses, it will slowly grow back and continue to get thicker until the player gets it shaved again. Along with the beard, the player also has the option to change Geralt's hair to a style they like the most. The hair will not grow out as the beard will, but it's still nice to change it up every now and then.
So long.
The only real complaint I have about the aesthetics are the character models of NPCs. If you play through the entire game, you're guaranteed to encounter multiple NPCs that have the exact same character skin, even though they're supposed to be different people. The reason this happens is because of all the amount of detail put in each character. But all that would have to be done to fix this is create more character models. I believe the reason CD Projekt Red didn't add more character models is because they were pressed for time, as they'd already delayed the game a couple times. The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt is by far the most successful of the Witcher series. It currently sits as the third best-selling PS4 game of all time, and it is well deserved. Personally, The Witcher 3 is one of my favorite games of all time, and certainly my favorite from this genre of video games. People considering purchasing this game don't have to know anything about the previous Witcher installments to enjoy The Witcher 3. This is a game that every gamer should appreciate and take the time to play.